Alright, what's up guys? Ajax227 here to do another video for you, and today I will just be talking about the state of WWE's main event scene right now. And it's very one-sided. You have John Cena as WWE champ, you have Randy Orton as world champ, and then everybody else chasing after them are heels or bad guys, And the main event guys on SmackDown are Mark Henry, Sheamus, and Christian. And Christian is the newest heel made last week, and by the promo that he gives in about 30 minutes on SmackDown. So he's the newest heel. And then on Raw, you have Miz, Alberto Del Rio, and R-Truth. And R-Truth right now is the one chasing after John Cena, and he has a match with him at Capital Punishment. So essentially you have 6 guys chasing after 2. So you have 6 bad guys and 2 good guys, and those bad guys revolve around those 2 good guys. Now it just doesn't work like that. You remember when Chris Jericho came back? And I was like, what, 2007, 2008, one of those times, and Randy Orton was the champion back then, and he was a bad guy. And then you had that whole program with Chris Jericho chasing after Randy Orton, and people were all the way completely behind Chris Jericho, and they wanted Chris Jericho to beat Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Now granted, Chris Jericho never did beat Randy Orton. People still were behind Chris Jericho, and people still supported Chris Jericho because they wanted to see him beat Randy Orton, because they didn't like Randy Orton. And that's the way that you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to have the bad guy always one-upping the good guy, and then eventually when the good guy finally wins and he finally beats the bad guy, the payoff is so much greater. And they don't do that anymore. You can't, there is no payoff anymore, because Randy Orton and John Cena are already the champion, and you have the bad guys who are now chasing after the good guys, and the bad guys don't have any support because nobody is supposed to like the bad guys. The WWE only wants you to like John Cena and Randy Orton. And the fans that they reach out to, the little kids and other simple-minded fans who think wrestling is still real, they support John Cena and they support Randy Orton, and they don't like guys like Sheamus or Alberto Del Rio or The Miz or Mark Henry or Sheamus and guys like that, even though, excluding Mark Henry and Christian, these are the guys who are the future of this business. Your Miz, your Sheamus, and those guys. But they're the bad guys, so you're not supposed to support them. But these are the guys who need to be built up the most, and they're not, because they keep getting squashed by John Cena and Randy Orton, and there's no payoff anymore. So it really doesn't make any sense. What, as a normal WWE fan who doesn't know any better, what is my reason for tuning in to SmackDown or tuning in to Raw? Because John Cena, week after week, always comes out on top, and Randy Orton, week after week, always comes out on top. Eventually, people are going to get bored. This angle that they're running now with Randy Orton and John Cena is already stale, because it's essentially nothing but John Cena and Randy Orton plowing through the entire roster. Anybody who steps up to Randy Orton or John Cena get knocked down, and they stay down. Look at the position Miz is in. I mean, that's just how it is. And, it just doesn't make any sense, because if you want to do it the right way, you have the fans, you give the fans something to latch on to. You know, they love that Cinderella story crap, you know, where they get behind somebody and they watch the guy struggle and they watch him get beat down and beat down as low as he can, and then finally he one-ups the bad guy, he beats the bad guy, and then everybody's happy. And that's how you're supposed to do it. And they don't do that anymore in the main event scene. That's not how it is. And you know, it's a lose-lose situation, because now, you know, your bad guys, who are coincidentally the future stars of this company, you know, and Miz, Sheamus, etc., etc., these guys won't get built up because they're being squashed by John Cena and Randy Orton. And then at the same time, people are going to get bored of John Cena and Randy Orton because they're always beating the bad guys. You know, they don't get beat down anymore. They don't get beat up. You know, it seems like ever since Extreme Rules, the WWE has only been pleasing the fans. You know, they haven't given the fans anything. You know, probably the biggest thing that has happened was last week when Christian hit Randy Orton with the belt and turned Christian heel. That was probably the most significant thing that threw off the fans, you know, having Christian go heel. And I enjoyed that. It was very predictable, by the way. I saw it coming from 10,000 feet away. You know, I already knew that he was going to hit him with it, but he's probably going to do something. Because if they would have ended SmackDown last week with just Christian having Randy Orton win, you know, it just would have been overkill. So I completely saw Christian turning heel last week, because that's the only thing they could have done. You know, because, you know, if you didn't have him turn heel, what was next? Mark Henry was going to come out and ask for a title shot because Sheamus already lost. What are they going to do next? You know, so it's just really bad, you know. And like I said, it's a lose-lose because nobody's getting built up. You know, R-Truth, you know, I feel bad for this guy because he has shined, you know, for these past couple weeks, I think past month, you know, with this new character. And, you know, the whole little Jimmy gimmick is fucking entertaining. It's the best thing, you know. He's really entertaining. He's really coming into his character. But at Capital Punishment, there is no way. And, you know, I'll be doing a prediction video for Capital Punishment. And if you've seen my other ones, I always use logic. And, you know, I give good reasonings why the bad guy should beat the good guy. But at Capital Punishment, there is no way John Cena will lose to R-Truth. No way. No way it'll happen. Especially if The Miz can't beat John Cena. You know, John Cena has been slammed through steel, been smacked with kendo sticks, smacked with belts, you know, all that. And he still wins. So how can R-Truth top that? He can't. So you see all this build-up that R-Truth has gotten over this past month, and all the recognition he's gotten, you know, all the little Jimmy signs, all the R-Truth signs in general that you see on Monday Night Raw. So you know people are talking about him. So he's getting recognition. And that's how you build people up, whether they're heel or face. You know, that's the proper way to build somebody up. And there's not going to be any payoff, because John Cena is going to beat him at Capital Punishment, and then everything that's happened for the past month isn't going to mean anything. You know, and he'll just be another victim on John Cena's superhero list, you know, of getting squashed. You know, he'll join The Miz and the long list that is behind him. You know, and I don't know, you know, I wish they would do something different. You know, you don't have to please the fans all the time, and that's what they're doing right now. I don't know why they're doing that, but, you know, it just makes the entire product stale. You know, there's no surprise, there's no interest, there's no reason to watch, because the good guy always beats the bad guy. So why am I watching? Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.